Keanu Reeves is a man who has had some very interesting roles in his career. He's had highs like The Matrix, The Bill and Ted, and he's had lows like The Day the Earth Stood Still remake from 2009, or that horrible theatrical Shakespeare adaptation of Much Ado About Nothing. There's pretty much not much I can say in terms of middle ground. He's either really good in what he does or he's really bad at what he does. Right now, he's at the good point where he is the kind of guy who can do no wrong with movies like John Wick and the upcoming role in Cyberpunk 2077. And I'm already predicting he is going to take all that good that he has accumulated this entire decade and flush it down the toilet when Bill and Ted 3 comes out. Yes, they're making Bill and Ted 3 because somebody wanted to see that, apparently. I don't know who they are. I probably won't ever find out who they are, because the moment I do, they're going to go into hiding in order to avoid my wrath. But, yeah, they apparently want to see Bill and Ted 3 for God only knows one reason. And then there's the subject of today's review, Johnny Mnemonic. Is it good? No. Is it bad? Strangely, also no. The plot of Johnny Mnemonic is this. Meet Johnny. He's a courier in the distant, futuristic year of 2021. His job is to take data, implant it into his head, and then go from point A to point B and deliver that information to his clients. And the information is usually something that people are willing to kill for. He can hold up to 160 gigabytes of information in his head. Unfortunately, his most recent job ended up being a much bigger load than he was ready to handle, and as a result, he now has synaptic seepage, and he has a grand total of 3 days to live. Although, at one point the movie says 24 hours, and I'm not entirely sure they know how long you have to live. I'm guessing the maximum is 3 days, but whatever, we're arguing semantics here. In my humble opinion, Johnny Mnemonic is bad. But at the same time, it's one of those movies where I'm watching it and it deserves to be a lot better than it actually is. And I don't know why it's so bad other than it's cheesy and the fact that this was Keanu Reeves back in the day when the only character he was capable of playing was Ted from Bill and Ted. This is one of those movies where the universe is actually really interesting. There's a lot of really interesting set pieces and a lot of really interesting tech that, obviously by 2019 standards, is totally showing its age in terms of speculation. And that's really one of the things I love about older sci-fi movies. I like to go back and watch and see what people thought the future was going to look like. Did you know that Isaac Asimov was predicting we would have fully functioning, talking robots walking among us all the way back in 2007? Yeah, that definitely happened. Johnny Mnemonic also kind of falls into that trap, but it actually gets some things right, you know, like we do have hard drives that can hold 160 gigabytes of data, possibly even 320 gigabytes. Granted, we are putting a lot of that stuff in our gaming consoles now instead of our head, but it's possible. We're getting cybernetic limbs as we speak, although the last time I checked on that, they were still kind of in the testing phase. This is one of those movies where it's definitely a cheesy action movie, but I definitely wish that this movie could have been better, and every moment of, intrigue is often ruined by Keanu going on a monologue about how, I want $1,000 hooker! I want my shirts to be clean pressed! I want the good life! Bruh! Overall, when I think of good, bad movies, this is the kind of stuff I think of. Johnny Mnemonic. A movie that clearly had an idea. A movie that clearly had effort put into it, but for whatever reason, it just didn't work. It just fell flat on its face just mere seconds before it could cross the finish line. It's not terrible. It's not perfect. It simply is. And that is why I give Johnny Mnemonic 2 hats out of 4. And that's going to do it for this week's edition of It Came From Pluto TV. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, remind me that I matter. For the love of God, I hate myself and I wish that people would just acknowledge that I exist. And I'll see you next time.